Did Mayuri deserve to be one of the special war powers? If Shunsui was handing out awards to the Shinigami at the end of the war, who deserved to be special war powers, would Mayuri deserve one? To answer that question, let's take a quick look at Mayuri's accomplishments. I don't know who made this 5 war powers list, but they deserve to be locked up. The 5 special war powers are Ichibei Hyosube, Sosuke Aizen, Ichigo Kurosaki, Kisuke Urahara, and Kenpachi Zaraki. These 5 were chosen because of incalculable aspects of their abilities. In other words, some aspect of their powers or abilities could not be calculated by the quinces. And because Yuha and his men could not properly account for those variables, they were deemed dangerous. It's like saying, I don't know how hard this boxer can punch, so be careful when you step in the ring with him. Ichigo was chosen for his latent potential. In other words, he had the potential to become so powerful it was essentially incalculable. Sosuke Aizen, who was meant to be the pinnacle of voluntary beings in the universe, could not even begin to calculate Ichigo's power level. And as that was not even Ichigo's full power, his potential remains incalculable still. Ichibei Hyosube is a being who has lived for over 1 million years and is the last line of defense for the Soul King, so it makes sense that he was given wisdom. He had the most experience from which to judge a situation, as a being who existed even before the 3 worlds were made. Kenpachi Zaraki went from a close fight with Ichigo to a close fight with Noitora and a close fight with Yami. Then he faced the monsters Asashiro and Sien Grants. Even Aizen was wary of the monster Kenpachi, whose powers seemed to increase as necessary. So it made sense for the quinces to not have a proper read on Kenpachi's power. Thus he was the war potential for battle strength. Opening a portal with the property to convert Reishi and Kishi, with properties like a time machine, creating a portal within the Garganta itself in record time, finding a way to seal the seemingly unstoppable Aizen, or creating the Hogyoku, a technology capable of creating gods. Kisuke Urahara's intelligence could not be measured. An Aizen chosen for Reiatsu had evolved into a being whose powers could not be felt by neither Shinigami nor Hollow, a being who was constantly breaking the logic of the universe and went into a realm beyond Shinigami Reiatsu. His next form in the Thousand Year Blood War simply became unreadable to Yuha, one with enough spiritual pressure to hypnotize a Yuha Baha who had previously absorbed Gerard, Jugram, Mimihagi, the Soul King, and even Ichigo's powers. Genryusai Yamamoto would have also been chosen if he was as devious and ruthless as he was in the past. So what about Mayuri Kurotsuchi? The first argument would of course refer to his intelligence. In Kan for Your Own World, he was placed in the same intellectual category as Kisuke Urahara and Senjimaru Shutara. He mentally dominated Zalaporo, who was intelligent enough to create Negacion threads. These threads allow regeneration, manipulation of matter, copying transcendent abilities, and infinite possibilities. The very fact that he could modify his Bankai to simply adapt to any information he sends to it, to the extent that even Hikone Ubugino, a Soul King candidate, was threatened by it. Or seal off Aizen's spiritual pressure with technology, or even predict the Bandenreich's invasion since Soul Society arc, should make Mayuri worthy of a special war power ranking. Secondly, his own creations defeated Pernida. Everything from the modified Bankai to the drugs and even Nemu were created by Mayuri. He practically ended a Schutzstaffel character with his own inventions. Next argument, he saved the lives of many important officers. Izuru Kira, who went on to battle Lidebaro's lesser forms. Kensei, Rose, and Rangiku were de-zombified through Mayuri's technology. He saved Byakuya from Pepe's love paralysis, de-zombified Toshiro Hitsugaya, and healed Kenpachi Zaraki, all of whom were the most important forces in stalling Gerard Valkyrie. And Toshiro's efforts in that battle prevented debris from threatening the Serete. Last argument is technological contributions. The base which allowed Ichigo and the others to launch off the royal palace was constructed by Mayuri, who foresaw its necessity. It was his anti-Quincy Shadow Room which was used to implement the technology which could allow captains to regain their Bankais. And to achieve the power level necessary to create a bridge to royal palace, it was his Reiatsu amplifying machine that was used. Therefore, from a post-war perspective, I believe Mayuri Kurotsuchi deserved to be a war potential. Even Askin Naklevar thought of Mayuri as a menace, someone who was worthy of being promoted to the class of Schutzstaffel, the elites. There's a reason why my favorite characters in Bleach are Kisuke, Mayuri, and Aizen, but even beyond my preferences, I have made my points clear. Cheers.